go to my channel. And we are live. Edit video. Edit video. Let's put this, put that down there, put that over here. Okay, save that. That's saved. Go back to the channel. Come here and turn that off. Right. I tell you, there's so much to do when you go live. It's unbelievable. Right. First things first. Hope you can hear me. If there's anybody watching, let me know. I started streaming less than a minute ago, so if there is anybody watching, I won't know for a while, so just hang on here, I think, a second. What are we going to do today? Well, the reason... Hello. I need to turn the camera on as well, don't I? Well, that's not working, is it? Should we go there? Or desktop? No, we'll go here. And video capture device. No, that's not working. Game window. Video capture device. Properties. Well, that should be working. It's on. Devices default. Why can't we see it? Display. Video capture device. I haven't locked it out. Window. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Right. None of this is working for some reason. Not in the fashion that I thought it would. Oh, we'll just go there then. And I will try and figure out why the camera is not showing. It doesn't matter anyway. You don't want to see my ugly face. That's the least of our worries, isn't it? So, there's 5 of you watching. Can you let me know if you can hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right. So please let me know. Someone's giving me a thumbs up. Just say yes, we can hear you, or not. From what I can understand, looking at OBS, it looks as though you can. But please let me know. All right. 5 by 5. Thank you, Lucas. Nice to see you, Lucas. For those of you who are watching, Lucas was controlling through France yesterday as me and a buddy flew down to Chambray, à la bon. Lucas was amazing. One of the most professional controllers I've heard on VATSIM for a long time. And I include myself in that because I'm a C3 controller as well. Who else have we got? So Niels Christensen, nice to hear you, Niels. I hope everything's okay. And oh, here we go. James Mann Gamming, Fortnite Battle Royale. This guy gets, every time he comes on, he asks about Fortnite. Why? I'll never know. Anyway. So what I thought I'd talk about today is our beloved Xplane, and just a couple of things really. Something I've noticed of late, or I've not of late. It's happened for a long time, and I see it all the time where people say something's not working. I'm going to reinstall Xplane. I'm going to delete Xplane and reinstall it. Now, a long time ago, I can't remember how many videos ago. I mean, if you look on the channel, I've done hundreds of videos, Xplane 10 and Xplane 11 videos. But ages ago, simply ages ago, I did a video talking about certain things, helps, tints, and such like for Xplane 11. And one of the things that I talked about, I'm just going to do this because I don't really need Xplane at the moment. One of the things I talked about back then was there is no need ever that I can imagine whereby you need to reinstall Xplane. In all the years that I've had Xplane 10 and Xplane 11, I would say that I've reinstalled either of them altogether no more than 3 times. Okay? No more than 3 times have I reinstalled Xplane. There's just no need. When people say, oh, this isn't working, oh, that's not working, or I can't get my landing gear down, or I don't know, the fuel's not working. It's a bug. I'm going to reinstall Xplane 11. There is no need. And I'll tell you why in a moment. But first of all, Fabrice, hi there. Nice to see you. Hope everything's okay. Welcome to the afternoon live stream. You never know. I've only got 7 people watching, and this is the type of thing that Mr. Beast comes in on, isn't it? And drops a load of money. I wonder one day. Although from what I recall, and I've watched him a few times, he never seems to drop money to people in the UK. Maybe it's a thing. I don't know. Anyway, let's get back to the topic. The topic is you never need to reinstall Xplane, and I'll show you why. Okay, so here you see my Xplane folder. I thought I had a highlight on the mouse, but unfortunately I haven't. And because I'm streaming live, I can't zoom in. But here is my Xplane 11 folder, okay? And if you open up the Xplane 11 folder and scroll down, I mean, I'm scrolling a long way because of all the stuff that's in there. But you scroll down, and right down here, you've got something that says Xplane 11 Installer, okay? Double click that, and it opens up this. Now, when I say you don't need to reinstall Xplane, if something is catastrophically wrong, say you're missing an airfoil or something, and that happens, especially when we install aircraft and take aircraft out, or it'll say, I don't know, some other kind of error, all right? Rather than immediately going to uninstall Xplane and reinstall, all you need to do is run this program. Let me close this. Run this program down here, Xplane 11 Installer, and then update Xplane. There, okay. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 menu items. Click on update Xplane, and what that will do, it will update Xplane. If there's any files missing, any files corrupted, or any files broken, it will repair them. It'll replace them and repair them, okay? And that's it. You don't need to. People who say, I'm going to uninstall and reinstall, you're wasting time, and there is no need to do it, okay? All you do is click on update Xplane. Now, of course, when you do, as I have just done, it'll say, it'll ask you, do you want to check for new betas as well as updates? Well, if you do, you click on that, and then you continue, and what it'll do, it'll read all your files. I'm not going to do it now because there's nothing wrong with my installation. It'll read all your files, yeah? Replace those that are broken or corrupted or missing, and boom, there you go. Just no need to reinstall, okay? And when you do that, it'll go through the list on the side. It'll check servers, it'll scan for existing files, it'll check disk space, and then it'll install it. But, and there's a proviso here, if you do that, what will happen is that Xplane will reinstall, and I'm going to go to my custom scenery folder, it will reinstall global airports. Now, FG down here, okay, it'll reinstall global airports. Now, I don't like the global airports. I take them out. I only install airports into the sim that I want to or I'm going to fly to. Okay, and so the global airports folder, which will be here in around about G, I just delete. Some people just move it into a deleted items folder. They move it onto their desktop in case they want to put it back. I just delete it straight away. I don't want it. If I'm going to fly somewhere, I will download the airport that I want to fly to. As you can see, I've got many airports here. There's all my Orbex stuff there, and that's the way that I operate. Okay, so there is no need. Let me just go back. There is no need to reinstall Xplane 11. If it's broken in some way, all you have to do is update it. Now, for the 9-10 people who are watching at the moment, you probably already know this, but there are lots of people who do not know about this. And I see it all the time. I see it in forums. Literally every Xplane forum there is. I see it in the VATSIM forum. I see it in the Level Up forum and the Zebo forum, where people are saying, something's wrong, it's broken, I'm going to reinstall. And it's a hell of a job to reinstall Xplane 11. You know, you've got to download Xplane 11, you've got to put all your scenery back in, you've got to put your aircraft back in, unless, of course, you've kept those folders separately. So I just thought I would do, you know, a bit of a live thing here this afternoon and just talk about that. At the same time, I'm going to talk about something else as well. Something that I've also noticed and causes problems, and that is the plugins folder. And I think I mentioned this. I mentioned this in a post the other day because somebody was saying that they were having problems with their weather, right? The sim was not depicting the weather as it should, and they had Active Sky XP, and then they talked about something else, and then they talked about another weather program, and then they talked about some cloud enhancements, and they had all of these things in there together. And my first immediate thought was, why have you got so many? You only need one. They all do the same kind of thing, especially weather engines. Weather engines inject weather, so why would you have so many? And so I then started to think about some other things, and one of the things that I really have a bugbear about is plugins, okay? And if you have too many plugins, apart from anything, it will slow your computer down because they all load in, and they can start conflicting with each other as well, yeah? So I wrote something. I think I wrote about how many plugins that I have, and I like to keep my plugins to a minimum as best I can. And so let's have a look. I'll say so. Resources, plugins. Now it looks as though I've got a lot here, but a lot of these, some of these are to do with aircraft. Okay. So the ones I've got. Okay. So there's Airport VS SAL, which is it's a ground radar. I've got AutoGate, which is Marginal's AutoGate. And do I really need that anymore because of SAM? Well, yes, because I don't particularly like SAM, and it never works the way that it should. So I just rather use Marginal's AutoGate. The AVI tab, of course, many aircraft are using this, so that will go in there automatically. There's AVS, okay, which is a part of Airport VS as well. It's the same thing. Better pushback, obviously. Keep that, yeah. I'm going to jump past CEF because CEF is a plugin for Flight Factor. It's not something that I put in, so automatically put in. So I'm just going to talk about the plugins that I've put in. So I've got AutoGate, AVI tab, Better Pushback, Enhanced Skyscapes, Follow Me Car. Now, do I really need Follow Me Car because I've got AVS? Sometimes I like to use Follow Me Car just for the immersion, especially at night time. Gizmo, that has been put in there by X Aviation, so I need that. Ground Handling Deluxe, it's a plugin, I've got it. Sometimes I use it, especially when I'm doing photographs or editing videos. I might use it then. I don't use it all the time. CubeHack Terrain Data, that is from the Tolis aircraft, that's got to go in there. There's SAM. I don't particularly like it. I might delete it because I don't find it very useful, to be honest. Skunkcraft's updater, once again, that has been put in by a developer and is used by a number of developers now, so it's got to be in there. STKP connector, I'm not even sure I know what that is anymore. STKP connector, I can't quite remember what that is. There's a terrain radar plugin. I rarely use it, so I might take that up. And then we've got tour list data, tour list flight plans, and tour list terrain data. They're all parts of the aircraft, so that's got to go in. X camera, which I use all the time. I use it for when I'm editing videos, when I'm creating films for videos, when I do my reviews. I use X camera. I use X camera when I'm flying. It's absolutely brilliant. XJet, that is to do with the XJet aircraft. So once again, that's a plugin that's attached to the aircraft. It's got to be there. You know, it's not something I would put in. Xpilot, which I use to connect to VATSIM. XPLM framework, I'm not quite sure what that is, but it's something that I haven't put in. It's gone in with something else. XP Realistic, once again, I use that personally. I think it's brilliant. I like it, especially when I'm creating videos as well. XP Realistic is the software version of TrackIR. Okay, if you've never tried it, have a look. I've done reviews on it. It's brilliant. It takes a bit of getting used to, but it's the software version of TrackIR. That's the best way of explaining it, and it really works. XP UIPC, it's not used as much as it was in the past, but it's still vital, so you do need to have that, and more often than not, some aircraft, when you install them, that will go in. Then I've got XRAS, which is the radar airport assist thing. I can't remember what it's called now. And then XSwiftBus for connecting to VATSIM. So I've got Swift, and I've got Xpilot. I use Xpilot sometimes, but I've just recently started using Swift again, and I'm using Swift permanently at the moment. So I think that is the kind of smallest plugins folder that I could have. There are a couple of things I could take out. I could certainly delete SAM. I could live without that, and I could live without I could live without FMCar, although I like it for the immersion sometimes, especially at night time. But there are some that I cannot live without. Certainly better pushback. I can't live without better pushback. And then enhanced skyscapes, I simply think is brilliant, which will of course be made redundant when Xplane 12 comes out. So even though it looks as though I've got a lot in my plugins folder, I know some people who've got twice as many things in, 3 times as many things in, some things in there that they don't need, that it's going to cause them problems. And when I see people saying, as this guy did about his weather programs, the first thing I said to him was, delete all of your weather programs that you've got, see if that rectifies the problem that he was having, which I think it was something about Xplane reading metas. So get rid of all your weather programs and just use the default weather engine and the default clouds of Xplane, and then just install one. You don't need half a dozen. Just install one. For me, I either use, and I've done reviews on loads of weather engines. I mean, absolute loads. Too many for me to recall. You'd have to have a look at my videos, but I've done loads. I think I created a playlist of weather programs. And I use either SkyMax Pro or Enhanced Skyscapes. Since Enhanced Skyscapes came out, I've deleted SkyMax Pro. I've got rid of it, and I'm a SkyMax Pro fanboy. I was SkyMax Pro from the very beginning, and we're on version 5 now, I think. But I must admit, Enhanced Skyscapes has really kind of knocked it out of the park until Xplane 12 comes along. So there we have it. So just a couple of things I wanted to talk about. I cannot think of anything else that springs to mind that I need to talk about, but those two things I really did want to talk about, and that is you don't ever need to just uninstall Xplane 11. You just fix it. Just repair it, do an update it and repair. And the other thing is the plugins folder, because I know those two things seem to crop up the most on forums when somebody says, there's a bug. Oh, and that's the other. That is one thing I want to mention as well. I know I read it this morning. Somebody was saying something about the level up aircraft, and it's a bug. And it really annoys me that people say this, especially when an aircraft has just been released, such as the level up aircraft, and there's a heck of a lot of work yet to be done on that aircraft. And if there are bugs, then they're not bugs. They're just things that are not working, that haven't been dealt with, and they will be dealt with when it gets updated, the same as the Zebo. I mean, I was talking with a couple of friends last night, and we was talking about the number of updates that you get with Zebo. And one of our friends who has just converted to Xplane 11 was saying he's amazed that, it's like one every 3 days. And I was saying, and we were both saying, two of us, we were saying it used to be something like 10 a day that you could have updates for the Zebo. So keep on top of your updates. When they come out, especially for the level up. And things that you think are a bug, they're not a bug. More often than not, they're end user errors. This one guy was saying he could see through transparent parts of the wing. Well, he was looking through ice that had accumulated on the wing, and he said, "Oh, it's a bug," but no, it wasn't a bug. He was looking through ice. Fabrice, yeah, I'll totally agree with you, but that is the same for a lot of weather engines, that you will have that. I'm trying to think. I've used XEnviro, and I've used loads of others. I can't remember. There's that many. I can't remember the names, but I've reviewed so many, and they all tend to have that problem. And the reason being for that is that VATSIM weather, or real world weather, is, for a start, is 20 minutes behind real world time. So if you look out of your window in the real world and you see a thunderhead, we'll say a towering cumulus nimbus outside of your window, yeah, but in the sim, from exactly the same position that you're flying in, looking out of your window, there won't be a towering cumulus nimbus, because the weather is 20 minutes behind in the sim. A further 20 minutes on, you've flown distance, and that towering cumulus nimbus that you could see outside your window will be behind you in the sim, because you've flown for 20 minutes, yeah? And then also what happens is that the weather is populated around VATSIM, yeah? And then every 20 minutes, the servers catch up, and it just changes. And then you'll get that sudden change of weather. It doesn't matter whether you've set the updates in your sim for every 5 minutes, 10 minutes or 15 minutes. The actual weather doesn't get changed, populated around the network for 20 minutes. And that's why there's some people say, "Oh, well, my weather doesn't look like that outside." And my answer is, when you're flying in VATSIM and you're using real world weather, or you're using real world weather in Xplane, don't look out of your window in the real world. Just stick with the sim and fly with what you've got. XEnviro, I can't remember. Is XEnviro dynamic weather? I can't remember. I've used XEnviro, as I said, and numerous other ones. And there's one, I cannot remember the name of it, and it is fantastic. It's got so many options, it's unbelievable. And which I think is wrong, that you've got so many options to mess around with the weather. And I can't remember what it's called, and that looked amazing, but because you could alter everything in so many different ways, you were actually making things worse for yourself. Certainly in terms of cost of FPS as well. Anyway, that's about it. I can't really think of anything much more to say. So it's time for me to open up Xplane and maybe have a little flight somewhere. So we shall see. I hope everybody's well. Some of you might have found this video useful, especially new users. And if new users come across this video, go and have a look at my playlist, because on my playlists I put things together that you will find useful. Also, go and have a look at some of the earlier videos in the channel, and even though they're for Xplane 10, they're very relevant for Xplane 11. Things may change when we come to Xplane 12. The Xplane 12 may be a lot different in terms of how things work, the file structure, etc. Although I shouldn't imagine so. Knowing Austin as I do, and I've met Austin a number of times in the past, Austin is very clear on what he thinks Xplane 11. He's very clear on what he thinks Xplane should be, and he doesn't like messing around with the structure of it too much. I mean, the user interface may look different, and Xplane 11 looks incredibly different to Xplane 10, but behind that, the simulator is still very much the same beast. The file structure, the open source nature of it, how easy it is to navigate around, installing stuff, deleting stuff, all of that will stay the same. Right, Fabrice, Xenviro is not perfect, but smoothest transitions I've seen for XP. That may well be the case. I don't know. I'd have to have another look at Xenviro and use it for a considerable length of time. But as I always say, when it comes to weather, or even when it comes to your simulator, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And so if you're happy with the way your simulator looks, then that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what somebody else thinks, it only matters what you think. And if you like what you see on your monitor, or your 50-inch TV, or whatever, or your laptop, although I must admit I can't understand how people can fly with just a laptop, but there you go, that's a personal thing. So no matter what, if it's your 50-inch monitor, your 65-inch TV, your 32-inch monitor, whatever, as long as you're happy, as long as you are happy with the way that it looks, that's all that matters. And it doesn't matter whether you use Xenviro, Enhanced Skyscape, SkyMax Pro, or the default clouds of Xplane 11. If you're happy with it, you're happy with the performance, you're happy with the looks, that's all that matters. And I've said that all along. I've said that for years. It's like I'm not too particularly bothered about orthophoto scenery, right? I am more concerned about what an airport looks like that I'm coming into land to, or maybe the orthophoto scenery around that airport. That's what I'm concerned about. What it looks like when I'm coming into land. When I'm at 35,000 feet, the ground is going to look the same, no matter whether I'm 35,000 feet over default or 35,000 feet over Orbex. Okay, I've got Orbex UK, but that's because I fly VFR in the UK. But if I'm flying from Newcastle to Chambray, or Cardiff to Chambray, as I did yesterday evening, at Chambray, I'm not really that bothered about what the ground looks like from 33,000 feet, but I am really bothered about what the approach into Chambray looks like. And as I came over the mountains and the hills coming into Chambray, and I was going down the lake to the runway, that's what I was concerned about. And what I was concerned about was the mist and the fog in the distance amongst the hills. That is what I look for. And for me, that is fabulous. I love it. So I don't need orthophoto scenery around there. I need to know that where I'm landing is good. Anyway, Xplane was not able to start. Oh, God, great, because I'm using Vulkan. Oh well, never mind. All right, guys. I'm gonna have to turn on Vulkan. I wonder if that happens to other people, that sometimes Vulkan will not start, and you have to redo it. You have to go through everything again. Anyway, I'm going to do some flying. So thanks for watching. Niels, Lucas, James, Fabrice, anybody else who was here. Thanks for watching. new users who come across this video, hope you find it useful. Don't forget, please give me a thumbs up, share, comment and like, because YouTube loves that. The YouTube algorithm loves all of that. And for those of you who are wondering, I do this for free. You know, I don't get any money from anywhere for this, not even from YouTube. I'm lucky if I earn $10 a month, if that. All right. Okay, everybody, we'll see you soon. Take care. And as we say, cheerio. And just turn off OBS and I'll be gone. Bye.